You know what two things a high value man has? Well, first off, he has value, some sort of value he can provide, some sort of value that he actually gives to the world that allows him a sense of deep purpose that is outside of even a relationship, and also has high standards. Now, a lot of these high value men online, yes, they could have a lot of value to offer. Yes, they could have maybe high standards towards who they let in their circle. But when it comes to the women, they're easy. They think sleeping around with multiple pretty girls is something that's respectable and is something that gives them a sense of hierarchy upon masculinity and the male space. Is like bagging a bunch of highly attractive women. And I'm not saying, you guys, I'm not a man. So sure, maybe in the man space that is respectable. But I want to tell you guys this right now. Stop relying on these men to tell you things that are highly unrealistic for most men to live up to. And I'm not saying that, you shouldn't follow your purpose and your dreams, etc. But what is the place of why you're even wanting the things you want? Is it coming from a place of actually having a passion for it, or fulfilling some sort of deep sense of purpose that that's within your heart? Or is it for your ego? Is it because the little boy inside of you does not feel good enough? Perhaps because maybe your mom told you weren't, your dad, you always had to prove yourself as a child. So instead of breaking that pattern, you continue it by always needing to boast yourself, always needing to seek external validation to prove to yourself that you're a man, that you're worthy. And I'm here to remind you, men, that if you do desire to go down that path, please just be aware that you're going to get there, but you're also going to see how unfulfilling it is. Because trust me, you constantly chasing the next woman and the next woman, or the next car and the next car and the next watch and the next watch, you will get to a point where your soul is exhausted. Your soul. Sure, you can have all of these egotistical things that surround you and that make you feel good and high value and that you're worth something to someone. But reminder, you as you are right now, you're worthy. You just being a human being on planet Earth is enough. And I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for saying that, because nowadays we are honestly programmed more than ever to that you need to be a certain way to even have some sense of worthiness. And it's not the case. It really is not. You and I come from the same source. And, for me, I just really want to remind the men in today's culture that just have a purpose in mind. Have a purpose that isn't to fulfill your egotistical needs. And maybe you need to go down that just to prove to yourself that that's not your way. But I just want to remind you today that if you work towards your success in a balanced way where you get to feel fulfilled spiritually, but also purposefully within your masculinity by doing something every day to better your life, you will see how that has an impact on you and your self-confidence. And also, you will see the types of women you attract along your path. If you are only wanting to attract women when you're at the top, you're going to get a specific type of women who would never even want to or would have supported you along your journey to get there. They're usually takers. They're usually the ones who are waiting for all these men to get to the top while they do no self-improvement work on themselves, don't know how to take care of a man. However, they expect men to be the, stereotypical man of the protector, provider, and leader. And just because a woman has a pretty face doesn't mean she has any substance to give you other than a pretty face. So just be aware of that. This video is short today, but I just want to remind everyone of this, okay? There's so much information out there, especially programming our young men. And I want the men to hear this from a woman's perspective, that all of the materialistic things that you think will make you into a higher value person. It could to some people, but it's also about where you are right now and how determined you are to overcome any hurdles on your path, and to not always need to have female validation. And validation is an okay thing to have, but please make sure it's coming from a place of true integrity to your soul. And it's not coming between your success and your future. A woman should never come in between your success and your future. And the same goes honestly for a woman. We spend way too much time attracting into our lives these trauma bonds that make our lives miserable by having to constantly prove to ourselves to the wrong people. And be aware of this. And if you're in that cycle, pause and see where it will get you in the future. We need to heal. We need to overcome obstacles, and that should give you a sense of purpose and worthiness. That the more obstacles maybe someone has on their path is the more capable they are to overcoming and actually reaching the top. For that is where true mastery lies, is always having stuff to overcome and master. So I want to remind you guys of that and just kind of say my piece in this space. But I love you and I wish you guys the best, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.